Alex Hayden coming to you from Fontana, California for what should be a very fast-paced event. This 2-mile D-shaped low-bank oval has given us some exciting finishes over the years and provides some of the fastest racing on the schedule. Today should be no different.
Why does everybody look so bald in this game?
Looks like we're about ready for drivers to start their engines. Let's go trackside to fire them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to another edition of the NASCAR 21 Ignition / NASCAR 22 season. Of course, season update came out yesterday. We ran our Daytona 500 on our live stream last night. Tonight, we have the second race of the season at the Auto Club Speedway for the running of the Wise Power 400. First trip to Auto Club on a newer NASCAR video game in about 2 years. You have to go back to NASCAR Heat 5. It was the last time we had a race on the channel at Auto Club on the PS4. So we'll see what is going to happen in today's race based off of qualifying and practice. I think Kevin Harvick's got a pretty fast car. Of course, that is who we are racing as in this season because you guys, the fans, had voted for me to race as Kevin Harvick. Now, I will say, with how I practiced and qualified, for one, qualifying, let me know for anybody that has the season update, is it super easy at every track? Because I'm on expert difficulty. I qualified on the pole at Daytona by like 1/10 of a second, and it was pretty, like, I didn't even run a perfect lap by any means. I figured I was probably going to be, if I was on pace to qualify in the lead, I was expecting like maybe a top 10, but ended up with the pole by that much. I was kind of shocked. And then I go into qualifying tonight at Auto Club, and I qualified on the pole by 1 second. So I don't know why qualifying so easy. Now, based off of practice times, my practice time, I was racing Joey Logano pretty much back and forth in practice. So I know speed-wise we have good speed, but I feel like qualifying is too easy in this game. For whatever reason. It is super, super easy. So I might have to just start starting at the back and not qualifying until they get that fixed, if they get that fixed, just because I don't want to start on the pole every single race because I feel like that would give me an unfair advantage after a little while. But maybe certain tracks I'll do it, like on the short tracks. I don't want to don't want to put myself in pain knowing that this game is going to be very, very difficult still in the actual race trim. But as far as this goes, tonight we're going to be on the pole and we'll kind of go elsewhere from there. Everyone is bald. Yeah, I know. Everybody's got big foreheads in this game. I don't know what it is. I saw, it was Chase Briscoe yesterday during our 500, and it was Kevin Harvick today. Like, they're not, like, I mean, yeah, they have, like, receding hairlines, but it's not that bad as what this game makes it out to see. Oh, boy. JC1424, Asai Z, Wade Solinsky, Billy Kramer, Patrick Ellison, NASCAR HMS fan. Let's see here. That might be everybody that's in the chat so far. No Torres, CJ4 also. Thanks for tuning in. We have 20 people in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. And we'll go through tonight's starting lineup before we get underway. It's an all-Ford lockout on the front row. As mentioned, Kevin Harvick on the pole for the second time in the second race to start the season. Austin Cindric will start on the outside of the front row in second. Remember, he qualified on pole in real life. I think it takes the real-life qualifying order and just plugs it into the race. I feel like that's what happens because Daytona last night, it was pretty much the same order. And then tonight, I remember Cindric qualified on the pole at Auto Club earlier this year. And now he's starting second. I don't know if the rest of the lineup behind him is accurate or not, but it is kind of interesting. I almost wonder if, like, the speed in the race car, they take the qualifying times, but then, like, the times in the race may be faster than the qualifying lap because of the draft, especially at a track like Daytona and Auto Club, and maybe that's why I'm qualifying on the pole by as much. I guess I'll find out when I get to the road courses and short tracks if that's still the case or not, but at least for the bigger ovals, I feel like that might be what is going on. I'm no expert with this, but I will say that that's probably my guess. Anyway, row number 2, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott will be in that second row. Busch, the only Toyota inside the top 5, one of only 2 to start inside the top 10. And Chase Elliott ran pretty good, scored a lot of points, got a top 10 finish last night at the Daytona 500, but he's looking for that first win of the year today. Eric Jones and William Byron will be in row 3. Another good starting spot for Byron. Inside the top 3 rows for both himself and Chase Elliott in these first 2 races of the season. And Eric Jones starting off very strong. Remember, he finished in the top 5 in real life at Auto Club earlier this season. We'll see what kind of speed he has today. Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney will be in row number 4. I mentioned Hamlin, the only other Toyota inside the top 10 for the starting spot. And Blaney ran pretty good here in the spring. We'll see if he can do that in the game tonight. Joey Logano and Alex Bowman will round out the top 10 in row number 5. Bowman was inside row 2. He started 3rd last night, 10th tonight. But looking for a better finish. He didn't have as good of a run in the race yesterday. And Logano had a pretty decent run, looking to back that up with another good run today. Bubba Wallace did win the Daytona 500 last night, so we know he is going to be locked into the playoffs. I saw him and Kurt Busch in qualifying were like all the way towards the back, which is also something else I remember. At the very beginning of the year, Bubba Wallace and Kurt Busch struggled in qualifying a lot, and they're struggling at least today in qualifying. So that'll be interesting to see if that will be just like real life in the coming races. So got a couple things to look out for, I guess, with this. Corey Freed, thanks for tuning in also. Trey's Real Fanning, thanks for tuning in. And let's get this underway. I don't know why you guys are calling me bold. I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying that that's the way the game portrays it to be. So I did not choose the outside lane, so this is interesting. But the green flag is in the air. Kevin Harvick's going to be on the outside. Cindric's going to beat him to the line. But the green flag is in the air, and we are underway. I made sure I shifted to 5th gear that time. No clue what's going to happen here at Auto Club today. Chase Elliott, who started in 3rd place, is already out in the lead off the exit of turn 2. Ryan Blaney going to clear Kevin Harvick, and Harvick drops from, I guess, technically the pole all the way back to 6th place, midway down the backstretch, into turns 3 and 4. I knew that was going to happen. Hang on, I'm restarting this. I don't want to restart with this team, but I overdrove that by a long shot. I only practiced for like 8 laps, and I thought I had it down. Maybe it'll start me on the inside lane this time, too. I'm alright with restarting it if it has me on the inside lane. It does not have me on the inside lane. At least I'm actually going to lead the race at the start. I'll give it that. Alright, we'll try this again. We're going to forget that. That didn't even happen. We're not even going to talk about that. Alright, that was a pole sitter. I should have led to the line anyway. I think the fast lane might be the top. Kyle Busch is going to get to the lead on the back straightaway, and cars are rolling around that outside lane pretty easily. We'll check up into turn 3 for the rest of the field here. Kevin Harvick going to drive it in pretty deep. That time he actually got it to stick, and he is going to make the pass on Austin Cindric to get back to 2nd. So Kyle Busch will lead the opening lap of the race. And the pole sitter Kevin Harvick right behind him in 2nd. Harvick going to go to the outside now, this time in turns 1 and 2. Be interested to see if the different lanes are actually going to work pretty well. Harvick on the top, going to try to get a little bit more straightaway speed down the back. We'll get back to the inside of Austin Cindric. Blaney was also able to clear, but Blaney's got a big run on Kyle Busch for the race lead into turns 3 and 4. Okay, that was Blaney coming down by me that time. And the AI do not have any... They have more central awareness than NASCAR 21 Ignition, but it's not by much. 65 laps in the opening stage of today's race. In fact, the stage is pretty much split the same as they were in the Daytona 500 as far as the laps go. Harvick's car a little tight right now. It's not the case in practice. Got William Byron in the 24 car looking to the inside, but the drafting help up high is going to allow Harvick to pull ahead of Byron just a little bit. Harvick going to try to back turns 3 and 4 up a bit more. and a lot better in that corner than the corners previous as he closes the gap slightly on both Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch ahead. Busch holding on to that clean air advantage, but we know this is a very much multi-group racetrack. Yeah, this track feels a lot flatter than what it should be. This is a very bumpy surface. I'm sure we're going to see tires wear quite a bit in today's race if it is accurate with the tire wear consumption. Side by side for the lead right now between Blaney and Busch. Busch on the outside. Blaney trying to get to the bottom. Could not clear Kyle that last time by. Harvick using a little more brakes in turns 3 and 4 with those two cars side by side in front of him. He's able to close that gap quite a bit. He gets to the inside of Kyle Busch now as Ryan Blaney leads on the outside of the racetrack, and Blaney will lead his first lap of the day at the line. Harvick down on the apron trying to take a little bit of a shortcut in the tri-oval. 3-car breakaway. Byron up to 4th on Austin Cindric. Busch shuts the door on Harvick. And dirty air is definitely still a thing. Not as bad, I guess, as what the last generation of this game was, but Harvick really back in the corner up, launches in the center, gets underneath of Kyle Busch, passes him, and may get around Blaney as well for the lead, and he will. Off turn 4, Kevin Harvick will lead his first lap of the race this time by. California needed leading at his home track. Trying to get that playoff security early in the season is what all these drivers are going for in the early going. Busch back to the inside of Blaney through turns 1 and 2. Blaney was able to get about 2 laps led in before losing the lead to Harvick. I do not plan on playing NASCAR Rivals. That's on the Switch, isn't it? I don't even have a Switch. You get Shiner Juniors here. Bentley Bots, thanks for tuning into the stream. See, Kevin Harvick's going to have the long run speed in the race car. No stability help on. Expert difficulty. Manual gears. And he does seem to be a bit better in turns 1 and 2. He fended off Kyle Busch. They were side by side for a little bit. Now Blaney's got to run, looks down towards the inside. Harvick not able to pull away with how much the draft. The draft itself is going to play a big factor. Harvick on the outside is going to give him a little bit more of a run in the tri-oval. He's going to try to break the draft this time around. Make sure Blaney's not going to get as big of a run on him this time. Blaney's still there into turns 1 and 2. Harvick off the throttle a little bit more than the 12. Blaney down to the inside. Harvick gets the run, though, in that higher lane. I will say it feels like the multi-group racing actually is a thing. It feels like I'm getting bigger runs down the straightaway, running the top. Oh, big mistake by Harvick, way out of the gas that time to try to keep it off the wall. That's going to give Ryan Blaney the lead, and that's going to drop Harvick back from 1st to 3rd, and Busch is up to P2. Byron's got to run in the tri-oval and also look into the inside as he pulls out a line. A block by Harvick on the inside to try to hold on to 3rd into turns 1 and 2 as Blaney and Busch try to get away.
Stay right. Clear, clear, clear. 1 left. All clear.
Byron not able to stay alongside Harvick that time either. He's going to lose a lot of time, it looks like, on the back straightaway to the cars in the draft on the outside. That's going to move Chase Elliott up a spot. Harvick way in deep in 3 and 4. Trying to give himself some clearance from behind. You're at lap 10 already. Should be 1 pit stop in this stage. Tight that time in turns 1 and 2.
Got 1 left.
Chase Elliott down to the bottom. Harvick gets hooked. And he's gonna keep it off the wall. As the field races around him, no caution there. Great save by Harvick to keep it off the inside retaining wall. As he tries to get back up to speed again, he's gonna be all by himself at the back of the pack, it looks. That did not take much. But the car is still clean. Working back up through the gears. They consider short pitting as soon as that window opens up. Yeah, the Elliott-Harvick rivalry reignited at Auto Club. You guys might have to go back and look at that. We're not under caution, so I'm not going to look at it right now, but if anybody goes back and looks or knows off firsthand, did I move down or did Elliott move up? I felt like I held my line pretty well, but I might have moved down and chopped him off. I don't know. I feel like with this game, I give myself the benefit of the doubt more often than not. Derek Booth, thanks for tuning in. I will say these tires are probably going to be a lot more worn out. The good news is Harvick is still on the lead lap. The bad news is, obviously, he is back in last place, and he was in position to have a lot of stage points, something he did not get any in the Daytona 500. What? I really want a caution. Where's the caution? There's the caution.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
That's insane. Okay, well. I got tight. I hit the wall. I gotta see that again. I got tight. I ended up in the wall. And then when I turned off the wall, it like turned me back to the right. Like, I didn't have much of a chance to save that after I hit the wall. I don't know if that's a glitch or just... I don't know. I haven't played this game enough, I guess. This rendition of it. I will say my tires were shot, though, after I spun, so that didn't hurt. It's going to be more of the NASCAR 21 Ignition theme. I feel like you're going to see me wreck a lot more often than what I usually would. This game makes me, I swear, this game makes me look like I'm so terrible at NASCAR video games. I go on and I play any other game, and I, like... cannot wreck for a long period of time, and then I come into this and I wreck every 20 laps or less. I'm not even trying to be super aggressive. Harvick's going to get back in it, I guess, one way or another. Green flag back in the air at lap 19. Still probably not going to be able to make it on fuel at all to the end of the stage, and now Harvick's got his work cut out for him as he's at the tail end of the field. He does have fresher tires, though, and he's going to try to make this work. Elliott moved up. This is going to be something else right here. Jordan Burns, thanks for tuning into the stream also. Harvick way out of the gas. A lot of 2 and 3 wide racing going on mid-pack. What you usually see at Fontana.
Got one right, 2 on the outside.
Harvick just trying to stay as low as he can and out of the way.
Clear, clear, clear.
Needs a handful of positions around the back marker cars. He stays on the inside of Bubba Wallace. Josh Bilicki in the 77. He's in the 55. JJ Yaley. I was like, I forgot that was even an entry at all this season. MBM, I think. And we're 4. Good thing the apron works. I didn't test that in practice at all. I was committed to going down there one way or another. Luckily, Harvick didn't lose control. A 4 wide pass on these fresher tires, trying to make his way through the field. Difficulties on expert.
Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Oh, one car slipped up. Passed a lift on that bottom lane. I think it was Cole Custer in the 41. Oh, hesitated. I should have pulled up when I could. Stenhouse is there now. If there was a rearview mirror, I would have probably moved up a lot sooner. Kind of cheated taking tires. I usually don't do that. I did have a flat right front, though, so I guess I was going to have to change right sides regardless. Kurt Busch has moved up a ton of positions already. And by the way, I'm a lap down for some reason. How do they not get the scoring issues fixed? They've had well over a year since the initial launch of the game. We're still having scoring issues. I'm in 21st. I was looking up at Kurt Busch's position. He was in 20th. McDowell's in 15th, though. So we've got about half the field a lap down, even though nobody was a lap down when that first caution came out.
Clear, clear.
This game gives me a headache, I swear. I feel like I have to take Tylenol before every race I do just to hopefully prevent myself from getting any sort of brain aneurysm.
Stay right. Clear, 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 clear.
Well, Harvick's going to have to make this time up. He's probably not going to make it on fuel to the end of the stage, so his plan now is just to try to finish on the lead lap. He's been getting really risky going 3 and 4 wide a lot, turns 3 and 4. He's gone down to the apron about 3 times as well. Appreciate that comment, by the way, Jordan. Brian O'Byrne, Joshua Rumsey, thanks for tuning into the stream also.
Stay right.
Mark the Mars, I see you in the chat also. I'm scared going on the outside ever since Elliott turned me. I feel like the car's looser on the straightaways and moves around more on the straightaways than in the turns. I kind of felt that at Daytona on older tires last night. I'm feeling that at Auto Club today. Blaney really ran Busch down to the racetrack. Side by side for the lead, make it 3 wide with Harvick on the fresh tires down to the bottom. He'll take advantage. He's going to get back on the lead lap. He's going to try to make up as much time as he can before pit stops. He has not cleared Blaney yet, who led that lap at the line, but Harvick is in front of Busch. Busch drafting on the bottom. He'll send it into turns 1 and 2, trying to get underneath Blaney. Can't do it. Blaney blocks. Scoring issues actually deep in the code. The way of, that's frustrating. And that's the biggest gripe I have with Ignition, to be completely honest. A caution comes out and it just ruins the race because it traps. Even if like I'm on the benefiting side of staying on the lead lap and like all but 10 cars go a lap down, it still sucks though that many drivers are taken out of contention that early in the race. Harvick's on fresher tires because he pitted during that last caution, so at least, you know, we have a chance to make this time up in this stage. Everybody else, though, from 20th on back, their chances of winning the race is slim to none right now. Especially when you consider the fact there's no wave around and free pass in this game either, so. Larson has just taken the race lead away. Elliott follows him past Ryan Blaney. Larson won this race in real life earlier in the spring. Trying to replicate that tonight in the Lions Power 400. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe again for more Daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. Chase Elliott wrecked you in practice at Michigan for no reason. That's pretty much what happened early, and pretty much from that incident, it just put Harvick behind the 8 ball. Try not to push too hard and let the car do its work itself, considering, again, he has fresher tires. I'm probably expecting the field to pit right around lap 40 based off of what we were seeing out of the field gauge. And I have to remember that they're not going to pit during the stage breaks either. So we'll try to take advantage of that, obviously, especially being a lap down. No reason. No reason other than the game stinks. Game stinks so bad my own farts smell better than this. Well, I mean, this game doesn't have a scent, I guess, but you guys get what I'm going. I hope you get what I mean by that. I didn't explain that very well. Yeah, this car feels very skatey. And I almost wonder if that's why when I hit the wall, I spun back to the right because it's so much more unstable on the straightaways. It's more unstable on the back straightaway than the front straightaway. The front straightaway, with the way it's not really a straightaway, it's just a stretch. There's more banking. that the car doesn't skate around as much. The back straightaway, it gets sketchy. I'm almost scared to go all the way up near the wall for that reason. Kyle Busch up to third. Ryan Blaney starting to fall back after this most recent and, well, really only restart of the races. Had just the one caution today, just about a dozen laps into the race. Harvick all by his lonesome self right now, logging in some laps with these fresh tires. They have to consider short pitting. You got to have a feeling that you're within the window to make it on fuel to the end. He's going to make up even more time. That's going to be the way to do it, unless we get a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, which isn't impossible either. They'll lift so much to get it going into the wall. Harvick struggling with turn 2 at times. That's how he lost the lead initially when he took it back at the start of the race. He had to lift quite a bit in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4, the car feels great, and that seems to be definitely his better of the two corners. But 1 and 2, it's getting a little tight middle off. And then you get to the straightaway, and you have that skatey feel, so you really don't want to try to overcorrect it as much as possible. If you don't overcorrect it in the corner, you're going to end up overcorrecting it in the middle of the straightaway. Then you're going to make yourself look like an idiot. Like I did earlier, and make it look like I don't know how to play racing game. Yeah, I'm not really keeping track of the owner standings. I know there's multiple drivers in the 16 and 15. I'm just going to go by name. So if they don't run all the races, so be it. A lot of those drivers aren't running for points anyway. Like Gregson and Allmendinger, they're in the Xfinity Series, Hemrick too. I mean, maybe I'll do owner points. I'll do owner's points only if one of them wins. But I guess I'm going to have to calculate it, though, because then I have to make sure they're in the top 30. Man, Harvick got a little loose that time. See the rear of the car moving around quite a bit. That right rear tire is starting to burn off the race car quite a bit. If you look at the tire wear indicator on the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Another risk if you short pit, too. This thing's getting really skatey all of a sudden. Flip of a switch, it has gone from tight in turns 1 and 2 to just pretty much loose all the way around. I'd have to look at making an adjustment to try and snug it up a little bit. Plan's going to be to put a round of wedge into the race car. Trying to help tighten it up a little bit for the long run. Might be a little too tight early in the run, but the hope is that in the long run, it'll be a little bit better. I think another reason the car is skatey too is because it has so much of a pull to the right on the straightaway. So just trying to keep it off the wall, it almost feels like you want to just loop it around for that reason. Did I get GT7? No, I really don't play many video games outside of what I do on the channel, to be completely honest. I don't have a whole lot of time for it. If I do, I kind of just go onto the PS2, and especially in the winter time, because that's usually when I do have more time to do something like that, and I'll just plug in like Madden 06. I've actually been working on a NCAA 2005 Dynasty mode with Toledo Rockets. On my second season with that. I started that probably a month ago. About to start a football season, really. And, you know, I'll probably go a week without playing, and then I'll just kind of binge and play like 5 games at a time or something. Every couple weeks. Whenever I have like a rainy day and I'm off of work outside of my full-time job, I'm kind of stuck inside. Do my form of entertainment. I think Daniel Suarez is in the lead in the 99. Truex up. Oh, we got cars on pit road. That's probably why. All right, so this is interesting. We got some cars on pit road for the first time. That's why Daniel Suarez is taking the race lead. When do you pit if you're Kevin Harvick? Might have to be soon, because he just hit the wall in turn 2. He didn't lose complete control that time. Probably see the car bobbing and weaving on your own, too. Wow. It is amazing how bad the car is getting on loose handling conditions. Probably hear how much off throttle time I have in the middle of the corner, and how much I'm just feathering the throttle in the middle of the corner to keep it from wanting to spin out.
Good job. Go get me one more.
Got a stable setup in it. Harvick back in the lead for now. Everybody pitting when they are. This is pretty much splitting the stage in half. Which tells me by splitting the stage in half, that tells me that they might actually pit during the stage break. Harvick's already committed to staying out right now. Maybe we get a caution to even the playing field. We saw cautions in the middle of green flag pit stops at Daytona a couple times last night. Maybe it happens at Auto Club today. Really tight on entry into 1 and 2 that time, and then as soon as he tries to get back into the throttle, it really wants to come around on him for the rear end. 25 laps to go in stage 1 this time by. Stay out long enough, obviously. Oh, and there it is. Caution is out for the second time today. So when Harvick was losing time from the lead, a perfect timing yellow will happen, and now he is back on the lead lap. He can pit. He'll have a couple lap pressure tires, which will make a difference here. And, let's see. I'm going to put that round of wedge into it. I thought about waiting to make the adjustment just because I'm only going to have... Actually, yeah, I'm going to wait to make the adjustment. We're going to make 0 adjustments this time, and then during the stage break I'll make the adjustment, because I do like the car for the first probably dozen laps or so. We're not going to have many laps left in stage 1. Yeah, finally caught a break with this game. My goodness. So Harvick back on the lead lap after a ill scoring error. Now he's got a shot to get some stage points again, where it wasn't looking like that for a while.
Good progress so far. Moving forward.
Heading to the restart, Harvick at the tail end of the field, going to try to make up as much time as he can. He'll restart in 10th as the green flag is back in the air at Auto Club. 20 laps to go in the stage. Got a couple lap pressure tires. Really just trying to get around these back markers at the rear of the field. Contact up high. 3 wide, Austin Dillon blocking Kevin Harvick. Harvick trying to get through on the bottom. They're 4 wide on the back straightaway, heading towards turns 3 and 4. Oh, that... It's not good. Almirola must have been the car. And whoa! Oh my goodness! Almirola got loose. He goes around. And down towards the inside of the racetrack. No caution. He's already damaged from before. Clean air for Kevin Harvick to work with, but no drafting help down the straightaways. He can push, though, knowing he's only got to go 20 laps on these tires. BC1424, thanks for that $1 super chat, by the way. Pass on Bilicki there wasn't for position. He's in 34th. I don't know why there wasn't a caution there. I mean, there wasn't a caution when I got turned by Elliott earlier and saved it. There's definitely still speed in this 4 car. I don't know that he's going to be able to get back up to the front of the field. I think these couple lap pressure tires made a difference initially, those first couple laps after the restart. Now not so much. He'll try going towards that middle to upper groove a little bit. Trying to give himself a little bit more straightaway speed. You can risk going closer to the wall. Somewhat fresher tires. There's no Tootsie's car. Oh, for Daniel Suarez. Yeah, he runs that scheme almost all season. A lot of 2 and 3 wide racing. Harvick's definitely starting to close in on the back of the pack. He's still back markers, though. Just up in front of him, Greg Biffle, Ty Gillen, DJ McLeod. Oh, 1 car in the wall. Up off turn 2, I think that was McLeod in the 78. They lose some momentum. Harvick in the draft behind Biffle. It's getting really tight, though, in that outside line with everybody else pretty much up there. So he slingshots down to the apron where there's at least clean air to work with that time. And he gets by probably 4 cars. And pulls alongside the 50 of Kaz Gralla. Right back in line in front of the 15 of Garrett Smithley. Some draft off of Gralla before entering into turns 1 and 2. Tries to get back down onto the bottom, but the 50 of Gralla was there. But he couldn't get the turn in the race car he wanted to try to make a move underneath him, and he'll wait till turns 3 and 4 to try it again. He's got a big run on the back straightaway this time. Pulls down towards the bottom very early. Gonna try a little slide job move. Rewind into the corner now. Corey LaJoy, Ty Dillon around him. He is going to be underneath of LaJoy in the 7 car. Can't carry the speed down the tri-oval, though. Still have about 14 laps to go yet in the stage. That white line right in the middle of the corner. I don't know if the apron's going to work in 1 and 2. I don't want to test it. It works in 3 and 4, at least on fresher tires. I was willing to lift there if it meant not wrecking. Remember, these cars are dangerous. You don't want virtual Kevin Harvick getting a concussion. Ruin our championship hopes in the 2nd race of the season.
Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Harvick down in the tri-oval on the apron underneath of J.J. Yaley. Yaley in 26, that Motorsports Business Management, what is it, Chevrolet? I don't even know what manufacturer that team is. I think it's Chevy. Oh boy, 3 wide up off turn 2 for a very brief moment. I thought Harvick was going to get turned again there. Joy made a gutsy move down towards the bottom. Harvick's got some clean air to work with in front of him, but he kind of missed the entry into 3 and 4, and he's having a hard time trying to pull away from these cars. But Joy's going to slide right up in front of Harvick. Harvick with the crossover in the tri-oval. Trying to beat LaJoy back down to the bottom into 1 and 2. No subs for Brett. Yeah. If Harvick gets hurt, then Keegan Schneider's going to take over for him. Or Keelan Harvick. I mean, one thing Keelan has over me, he's been inside a stock car. I have not. Not saying he drove a stock car or knows how to drive one. He might still have more experience than me. Lifting off turn 4 to keep it off the wall. Harvick's pushing just a little bit too hard right now. In the sense that he's missing his marks. I mean, at least we're in line to get one stage point. Better than nothing. And at least Harvick will be back on the lead lap to start stage 2, which is the big thing. I have to imagine the entire field's pretty much going to pit during the stage break. They'll be right at the end of their fuel and tire stint. A lot better corner that time through 3 and 4 for Harvick. Now I think about it, if somebody at SHR gets hurt, does that mean Riley Herbst would have to start in the Cup Series? Would he be the sub/replacement driver then? What world do we live in? Sure what lane to go in here. Cars are pretty much all over the place in front of Harvick. He goes all the way near the wall on the outside. Nobody's up there. Cars getting a little tight though in the center of the corner. It was doing that until it freed up towards the end of the run the last time, and he had to lift a little too much there, so he can't carry as much momentum down the back straightaways as he would have liked. Big block down on the bottom by, I believe, Michael McDowell on Bubba Wallace. These two have a history. Harvick trying to pull clear of Keselowski. He will. Side draft on the 34, McDowell as well. Harvick passed a lot of cars in turns 3 and 4 that time. McDowell's actually in 9th place. That's a spot. Busher in 8th. Also a spot a little bit further up ahead. Harvick into the back of the 34. Both cars hang on. Harvick still might make the pass even after getting into him. He couldn't clear him though. Gal let Harvick in line. The back straightaway. Harvick will move up. He'll take that. More cleaner down to the bottom. He'll get around Bubba Wallace in turns 3 and 4. Harvick's moving forward here late in the stage. Got around Custer as well. Custer is also a position. Busher up to 7th now. Kevin Harvick picking up some points late in the stage. 7 laps to go in stage 1 yet. Pulls it in on the 1 car. Ross Chastain. Give no take at this time. Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. Ryan Preece would probably end up taking over. Not. I think Preece, having the experience in the Cup Series, he would take over, not Herbst. I was getting scared there for a moment. Riley Herbst in the Cup Series car is the equivalent to a dad taking like their teenager like out on the streets for the first time, like gripping onto the hanger thing on the car. You know what I'm talking about. The clothes hanger. Hook or whatever. That is not good. Oh, no. Harvick is around right in traffic.
Stay right.
No caution. Everybody missed him.
Stay right.
I told you guys that wrecking on the straightaway was not going to be impossible.
Stay right.
Oh, geez. Still have cars coming. That's unfortunate that happened. I told you guys it was not going to be unlikely to see a crash on the straightaway. And the the car just floated a little bit too much that time, and Kevin Harvick loses 3 positions, and he's right back into 10th where he restarted. Might as well just kind of save the car at this point now and don't wreck it. I don't know how the entire field missed Kevin Harvick there. Credit to them for not ramming into me when I came back up the track. Think the race could see some night? I forgot day to night transitions were a thing in this. Maybe. That's one thing with the full races. You do get to see a lot of the day to night transition. A little bit of damage on the right side of that race car. I think Harvick hit the wall too hard. Might have been from that contact he had in the wall earlier today. Yeah, I mean, these cars are just so light on the straightaways that when the tires start to wear out, it skates around quite a bit. And in the turbulence, when you have cars drafting both in front and behind you, even if they're not bump drafting, they're still there. It's going to cause even more of a lighter feel in the race car. And once you hit the wall, I mean, all the side forces basically knocked out of it for a quick moment, and Harvick wasn't able to hang on. Now his tires are shot after the spin, but he only has to hold on for a couple more laps, and then he'll pit during the stage break. And that adjustment of putting that round of wedge into the car is definitely going to be hopefully helpful. And might make an air pressure adjustment as well to try to help keep the car glued to the track as much as possible. 2 laps to go yet, stage 1. 2 cautions so far. We had 11 in the Daytona 500 last night, so not quite on pace. This race, of course, 100 miles shorter in length as well. Bronze Cookie, thanks for tuning in. Way out of the gas that time. We got tight again. Fine line I'm trying to catch. Thanks for subscribing, by the way, Bronze Cookie. Just subscribe because I'm going to do 36 races 100% on this game. Good luck. Yeah, well, I do that with most games, but I will have 4 50% races at some point in time in the season. It's going to be a little bit for the first one. Well, the good news is Kevin Harvick is going to finish 10th in the stage. That's 1 point. After getting no stage points at Daytona, that is improvement. And honestly, considering there's only 10 cars on the lead lap, that could be a solid point stay as long as Harvick can make it to the end of the race and no other shenanigans happen in the final 2 stages, which is asking a lot of this game. And we'll see. Joshua White also welcome into the stream. I read your comment, but I didn't recognize that it was you. So it didn't let me get back to the start-finish line that time, but the stage will end, needless to say, at the start-finish line, and Martin Truex Jr. is going to win stage number 1. It's his first stage win of the young season. Christopher Bell's going to end up finishing in 2nd. Joey Logano 3rd. Blaney, who started up towards the front, led a lot of laps in the stage, finishes 4th. Kyle Busch led some laps as well after qualifying 3rd. He rounds out the top 5. Kyle Larson in 6th. Michael McDowell in 7th. Great run for him so far. Chris Buescher at 8th. Cole Custer at 9th. Kevin Harvick will round out the top 10. So a couple of SHR Fords there rounding out the top 10. Denny Hamlin, the first car lap down at the end of the stage in 11th. But again, no free pass given in this game. And can't really tell if there's any. I would have to imagine Eric Almirola has DNF because he did wreck right in front of us. Got a little loose in the middle of the corner a couple laps after a restart. Ended up in the wall, but no caution came out for it. So I think he's out of the race. He had quite significant damage from what it looked like.
Watch the light.
All right, on to stage 2, and we will be seeing some pit stops. Got to make a wedge adjustment. Got to put a round of wedge into it. Let's see here. I'm going to make an air pressure adjustment too. We're going to drop the left side's 2 pounds. We're going to drop the right side's 1 pound. No damage. So really going to try to tighten this up and keep it stuck to the track for the longer run. I mean, everybody's probably dealing with loose conditions at this track, I'd have to imagine, on the long run anyway. how rough and tough this is. Not sure if anybody else pitted during the stage break. We'll find out if they pit soon or not. Green flag is going to be in the air. Stage 2 underway. The Wise Power 400 at the Club.
Got one left. Clear, clear, clear.
Harvick's going to have over 20 lap pressure tires too. About 19 lap pressure tires in the rest of the field. Maybe even more than that. Actually, more than that. If nobody else pitted. A lot of lane changing going on in the back straightaway right now. Inside, outside. Might see some cars pitting this time. Harvick's going to have to be aware of it. Going way down low on the apron. Got some cars up near the wall on the outside lane. One car about got turned off turn 4. I couldn't tell who that was. We're headed for the pits. Tells me they did not pit. Harvick's got a run on Eric Jones. He's quickly back up to 6th place. Jones in 13. Hamlin in 11th. Again, no free pass in this game, so Hamlin did not get back on the lead lap. Harvick will take this advantage. I gotta take what this game can give me, because I might lose this lap later in the race. You never know. Be careful on the outside. We might see some cars dive down. Nobody there. He's gonna pit up at the front of the field. Harvick quickly closing on the leaders. Hamlin's got some damage to his race car. Harvick shoots the gap to the inside of Buescher. Picks up the spot. Way out of the gas to keep it off of Kevin Harvick. Side by side for the lead going on right now between Christopher Bell and Ryan Blaney at the front of the field. Blaney down low on the inside. Outside is where the draft has been pretty much all day long on the straightaways. Blaney trying to slide back in line in front of his teammate Joey Logano.
Got one right.
Harvick going to get around those guys.
Clear, 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 clear.
Checks up a bit after making the pass on Logano off turn 4, just in case Blaney and Bell were going to make a late dive into the pits. Bell will lead that lap of the line. Blaney's got a run on him, and Logano's got a run in the straightaway on Harvick. Harvick on much pressure tires right now has made his way through the field to the outside of Blaney and Bell, and Harvick's going to be clear off turn 2, and he's back in the lead for the 3rd different time tonight. We'll have more NASCAR 22 coverage tomorrow night as our 3rd race of the season will take place at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the running of the Pennzoil 400 live on KRC. Be sure to tune in for that one. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we'll have a live race commentary stream of the Bank of America Roval 400 for the NASCAR Cup Series on Sunday, the round of 12 elimination race of the Cup Series. We'll find out who will all make the round of 8. And coverage for that begins at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our pre-race, followed by, of course, a live commentary of the race shortly after that. And that for pretty much every race I don't go to in person. I will be watching a race with my grandparents again before the end of the season, so probably looking at 3 more live commentary live streams the rest of the season. We got this weekend at Charlotte for the Roval. Next weekend at Vegas, I plan on doing live commentary for, and then likely Martinsville would be the other one. But Homestead, going to go to my grandparents, watch that, and then I'll be at Phoenix for the championship for all 3 series. Let you put you in the big one. Now, everybody else in the field is going to have slightly fresher tires than even Kevin Harvick once they all decide to pit. I'm surprised we haven't seen everybody pit yet as we're beyond lap 70. Really stretching on those fuel and tires right now. Harvick's just got to run his own race. He's got to try not to make a major mistake here. Cost himself some stage points and maybe even a shot at a top 5 in the last stage. was tracking pretty well, pacing well, with about 5 to go on the stage when he spun out. Caution didn't come out. Luckily, everybody in the field missed him and doesn't have really any severe damage to the race car. He still got speed in. Probably going to look to split the stages in half at this point, honestly. The way the AI strategy is, I think that's probably better on my tires. The problem is that's about a full run on tires anyway.
Watch the lights.
Well, caution's out. That's going to be interesting. Might as well pit and take tires here. So caution is out for the 3rd time for incident today, but for the 4th time total if you count the stage 1 break. I'm taking tires as much as I give a chance, especially when you consider the fact everybody's likely going to pit here. So the adjustment feels good for Kevin Harvick. It feels more glued to the track, but that was only about an 8-lap run on those tires. No tire limit for ourselves on the season. We pit as many times as we can. I don't know how much that race off pit road is very accurate. I don't think it is. Harvick's going to restart in 6th. Green flag back in the air, kind of widen up in front of him a little bit. No control of my car until we hit the start-finish line anyway. Why is my car so loose on the restart? I'm just going to say, oh, we have a tire down from that? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you guys, I can't catch it. When it feels like we catch a break, I can't catch a break. Why was my car so loose on the restart? It was like bobbing back and forth. I had no control over it. Now the right front's down. Well, so much for hitting under the caution. If I would, hindsight's 20/20. If I would have known that was going to happen, I would have just stayed out and risked it. This is going to put Harvick a lap down again. That is unbelievable. I mean, you can't script what goes on so badly in this game on a regular basis. I have no clue what pit road speed is. Probably 55. I'll go 45 just to make sure. It's 45. All right. 4 tires of fuel for Kevin Harvick. Right front down on the restart. Tires are spinning. And this is going to put him a lap down. Still one stopper yet to the end of stage 2 for the entire field. That was the worst thing that could have happened. It's going to have to be a really quick stop. Hopefully Harvick doesn't lose 2 laps. I don't think he will, considering this is a 2-mile racetrack. Oh, caution is out, but Harvick is already a lap down. Oh my, that is even worse. If the caution could have just came out sooner than that. And I don't know how this game is going to do this. I think I'm going to have to pit again. Because I don't know if it's actually going to change my tires the way it is right now if I don't pit. You would think it would, but knowing this game, I have no clue. This game is obviously not an accurate representation, despite what Motorsport Games likes to think, of how an actual racing video game should be operated. Watch me lose like another lap because I'm hitting everybody else is staying out. That'd be my luck. I'd be 2 laps down now instead of 1. The leaders were just getting by Kevin Harvick when the caution came out while he was on pit road. So he's definitely going to be a lap down. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Green flag back in the air. I'll take it for what it's worth.
Leader, got 1 left. All right, right there. You can see him. Go get him. They're all around.
Harvick keeps control of the restart that time. I guess I'm still in the... Thank goodness. Maybe I wasn't a lap down when the leaders got by. I thought I was a lap down.
All right, top 5.
But I guess I'm not. I guess Harvick's right back in here on equal tires again. Chris Buescher's your race leader. Michael McDowell in 2nd. Harvick going to be in 3rd after restarting 2nd. Trying to block the inside lane. Logano had a run on Ryan Blaney for 4th. I have no clue how I ended up in 2nd. Thanking the heavens above me for giving me an opportunity to have a shot here. Still, Michael McDowell is a major run right now, and Chris Buescher looking for the race lead. Harvick's car a lot tighter, though, on the short run, and it is way too tight. Up the track he goes. He's getting passed by a lot of race cars right now. First, he's been on equal tires, especially at the front of the field with this setup. And it might be a little too tight in traffic. Slides right back into 6th, but he's at least within sight of the leaders, which is improvement, one way or another. The wide range of emotions I've gone through in the last 10 minutes is ridiculous, considering the fact that we're still in the first half of the race. I should start wearing one of those, what are they, like the Whoop bands or whatever that the drivers wear. I feel like that'd actually be kind of a cool thing to have for the stream. I don't know how I'd get you guys to, you know, monitor it throughout. The only car on the outside lane in the middle of the corner. Harvick's just a little too tight down in the bottom, especially in turns 1 and 2. A big block by Logano on his teammate Blaney down towards the bottom of the racetrack, and they're going to be 3 wide for the lead now in the middle of turns 3 and 4. That's going to wad him up pretty quickly. Larson's got to run from behind as they're 3 wide for the race lead. And actually was McDowell throwing the block on Logano, I believe. Not Logano on Blaney. Blaney's in 5th. 2x2 right now up towards the front. Harvick's definitely starting to close that gap on those guys up there. The left side's down on the apron. Turns 1 and 2. Kyle Busch with a run, though, to the outside of Kevin Harvick.
Still there. They're all around. They're all around.
I don't think this setup was the right way to go for Harvick. I think he's too slow on the short run. Unless he's that much better on the long run, we'll see. It is a crazy battle for the lead, though, at the front of the field right now. They are 3 wide again off turn 4. One car about bounced into the outside wall. Harvick, meanwhile, got back around Kyle Busch. Blocks him in the tri-oval as well. Here comes Chase Elliott looking towards the bottom lane of the racetrack. Got into Harvick's left rear earlier. Not going to do it this time. Harvick holds clear. Has a run. Although Elliott's got a run down on the bottom of the racetrack as well. And a crazy battle for the lead and a crazy battle for 6th. Elliott going to be all clear for that spot. Harvick keeping Keselowski behind him. The wall goes Harvick off turn 2.
Clear, clear.
All tires are up. And the car, unfortunately, is a little too tight.
Clear.
Oh my goodness. I went to turn down to the bottom. There was already a car there, and I overcorrected it, trying to keep it off Chastain. There was a rearview mirror. I would have known that there was somebody with a run down there, but unfortunately did not know that. I don't want to use the look-back cam on the straightaways either because of how skatey the car is on the straightaways. I remember having that problem in NASCAR 21 Ignition from time to time. But that was more, not so much that it was skatey, but the car would pull so far to the left.
Stay right. Clear, clear, clear.
Everybody having to pit in this stage yet to the end. We've had a few cautions. 2 of them for incident already in stage 2 when we only had 2 the entire first stage. Kevin Harvick is losing time, though, after making that wedge and air pressure adjustment under that second to last pit stop. Having so much more on throttle time in the middle of the corner just because of how tight the car is.
Stay left.
The draft, Denny Hamlin's got to run. Someone with damage on his race car. Harvick was out of the gas so much because he got so tight again. It stinks being super tight, still skatey on the back straightaway. I might as well just put the car back to where it was. It's not only slow, but it's not fixing the issue I had either. Frankly, I don't think anything will. Unless I had stability on, maybe that would help. But then my car would probably be obnoxiously tight in the corner, so kind of a lose-lose situation, if you ask me. I'll tell you what, this is the most unpredictable NASCAR game of all time. Not for the right reasons, but for a reason to say the least. Look at the car skating around on the straightaway. Harvick got in the wall as a result. All tires are still up on that 4 car, though. I don't think he's going to bail himself out every single time with that happening. It's crazy that it's not skatey at all in the tri-oval, but on the back straightaway, it's pretty obnoxious. How much the car dances and floats.
Clear all around. Clear all around.
That was a lot closer to what it probably should have been. Middle of the corner, J.J. Yaley closing up quickly on Kevin Harvick. Refrained from making contact with his back bumper at least.
Left. Got one low. Clear, clear,
The
clear.
pass, and Yaley with a little bit of a crossover. Harvick now going to block him in the tri-oval. Holds clear. Cole Custer's only about a second ahead of Harvick. It almost seems like Harvick's closing in on the 41 for a position. Thunderlux line. Yeah, I've only had one flight. I personally liked it, though. Used to driving any trip I've ever been on, so flying definitely a different, literally a different atmosphere, but I didn't mind it. I'd still prefer driving just for the scenario reasons. Again, the hope is that the car on the long run is going to handle better than everybody else. It's the one saving grace for Harvick potentially not making an adjustment change. I'm trying to predict points in the race where maybe a longer run versus a short run. He pulls back in on Cole Custer for position at least. He was free falling there for a little bit. Only though, going to get around Harvick on the inside.
Clear, clear.
Be halfway home this time by Harvick taking a shot down to the bottom to get back by Yaley, and as well Cole Custer in the 41, and he's going to do just that as he clears them both off turn 4. So Harvick back up to 9th. Kyle Busch only 2 seconds ahead in 8th. Harvick only has about a lap or 2 fresher tires, which really isn't anything at all at this point when you get this far into the run. I do think this 4 car does have good long run speed compared to the other cars in front of him yet. Barely kept it off the wall. Off turn 2. He was committed to staying in the gas though, and it's not going to break his momentum too much on the back straightaway, that's for certain. Pretty good run now through 3 and 4. And the car's slowly freeing up as the tires are falling off. Again, is the idea. Doesn't look like anybody's really pulling away at the front of the field. It's kind of one long conga line on the outside of the racetrack, especially down the straightaways. Middle of the corners, though, Harvick getting a little bit better with guessing when to get back in the gas, although he's only got one car directly in front of him, and that would be the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Harvick goes all the way down to the bottom. Left side tires on the apron in turns 3 and 4 as he makes the pass on Harvick, or on Hamlin. Not for position, though. He is going to be all clear. Hamlin with a run behind him. Harvick with a little bit of a block. You guys will have to let me know in the chat if you think it's pretty floaty on the straightaways too. It might be Fontana. That might be their way of, you know, making it feel like there's bumps on the track more than what the game kind of looks like. Oh man, a lot of jockeying for position going around up at the front. Are swinging all over the place in the middle of the corner. Hamlin looking to make a move into turns 3 and 4. Harvick on throttle a lot more than Hamlin in the middle of the corner. Drove it in pretty deep, actually got it to stick pretty well in that middle to upper groove. Hamlin trying to pull him back a little bit more in the tri-oval in the draft. About a third of a tank of gas left for Kevin Harvick. And tire wear, though, is the big thing in this race. When do you pit? You know the car is getting pretty light at this point in the run. Might consider making that adjustment change to help just the short run of the car, though, when you get to that pit stop, whenever it is going to be. It's nice having clean air on the car right now, I will say that.
Alright, you ready? Pit road in a few laps.
More brakes that time in turns 1 and 2. Hamlin ran the outside as well, and he's got a run on the back straightaway trying to close on the 4 car of Kevin Harvick into turns 3 and 4. Had a run. Harvick dove it down low enough and early enough in the corner, and Hamlin couldn't get underneath him. Bell now is back in 8th, so Kyle Busch making some passes for position up there.
Only a few laps till we pit.
Down to 24 laps to go in Stage 2. And just over 90 laps to go in the race entirely. 5 cautions today so far. 2 in the second stage. We had 3 in Stage 1 if you count the stage break.
Got 1 left. Clear,
Harvick is better on the long run than the short run speed-wise comparison to the rest of the field, but not by enough that this setup is going to be the way to go going forward.
All right, hold your line. Still next to you.
Hamlin got back underneath Kevin Harvick that time. He's going to clear him just past the start-finish line, about 2/3 of the way down the front stretch. Checked up a lot earlier, though, into 1 and 2. Harvick got into him. Harvick loses control of his car just a bit. The contact, but hangs onto it enough. Hamlin didn't budge at all. Harvick Looking to cross Hamlin back over, though, through 3 and 4. Does just that. A lot of cars pitting off turn 4. Caution is out as a result. So the yellow flag is out. So bring some more cars to pit road. Are we going to take that round a wedge back out of the race car? Going to take the wedge back out of it, but I'm going to keep the air pressure the way it is still. Oh, I didn't mean to repair damage there. God, why does it always show up on the screen? And you have to click no every time, because it obviously doesn't do anything. It's going to be a lengthy stop because of that. There is no way Harvick's going to be at the front of the field here. That's unfortunate. Yeah, beat it with a hammer. You can see him changing out the water bottle from the in-car cam. That's a little different. Different feature that I hope I never use again.
They got us for passing under yellow. Probably in the top 10 now.
Alright, so Harvick in the inside line this time. That might be a little bit better. Green flag back in the air with just 16 laps to go. 17 rather laps to go in stage number 2. Pretty good restart for the 4 down on that inside lane. He hasn't really been on the bottom a whole lot on the restarts today.
2 on the outside. You're 3. 3 wide. You got 2 up top.
Big run down on the bottom. A lot of cars stacking up. 2 and 3 wide on the outside. Harvick trying to stay as low as he can, making sure cars aren't going to side draft him. Truex in the middle, who won the first stage. He's back in 16th. He's one of the cars a lap down. And we might not have seen every car pit, which could be possible because Kevin Harvick's gaining a lot of time here. We got some cars pit. Oh, and the 38 goes around right into Kevin Harvick. Caution's out again. Harvick will stay out this time. Gilliland was going for a spin. Harvick was already on the inside with nowhere to go. Green flag is going to be back in the air again now, following yet another caution. Blaney going to restart in the lead at the front of the field.
You're in the top 5 with that one.
11 laps to go in the stage. Race is on for the stage win. Harvick blocking Buescher back straightaway after getting around both him and Kyle Busch in 1 and 2. Back on the inside. Not sure if these cars up ahead of Harvick at pit or not. I don't think they have yet. Harvick going for the lead off turn 4. Blaney stayed out. I don't know who has pitted, who hasn't. Blaney leads at the line. Harvick didn't really have a shot to get back in line there. He did though in front of Bell, or in front of McDowell behind Bell. Harvick squeezed down on the bottom. You can definitely tell Blaney and Bell are on older tires still, because Harvick is rolling the corner so much better than him, and he wasn't doing that in 1 and 2 earlier. Well, Harvick is cleared for the lead one way or another. Logano, though, we don't know who all has fresher tires and who doesn't. Maybe Logano can try to keep pace with the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Give Harvick a run for his money in the stage. Chase Elliott looking pretty sporty as well. Cars pinning off turn 4 further back. We're down to just 9 laps to go. Logano's got some speed, so does Elliott. I think it's going to be a 3-car battle for the stage win between these guys, and even Larson's only about a second back as well. Logano blows by Harvick on the outside lane through turns 1 and 2. Harvick is up into the wall. That's going to cost him some time. All tires are up. Complex damage on as well.
Got speed. Now get after them. Clear, 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 clear.
Harvick on the bottom through 3 and 4, trying to stay in front of Chase Elliott in the 9. Joey Logano leads, trying to get a stage win. We're down to just 7 laps to go in the stage. Kind of Terry, Jacob Gibbons. Segrin 3, thanks for tuning in. Larson closing in on Elliott. Larson had a stage win in the Daytona 500. And he just got around Chase Elliott in turns 1 and 2 for position. He quickly is going to the outside of the 4 of Harvick as well.
Clear, clear, clear. All right, right there. You see him. Go get him.
Harvick pretty good through 3 and 4 that time. It's his best area of the track. If he can just get a little better in turns 1 and 2, he might have a shot to catch Logano. Some cars coming out of the pits on the bottom. I think all these drivers up towards the front are going to be able to stay in front of him.
All clear.
Car gonna cycle up. Oh, he pulls right in front of Logano, middle of the back straightaway. And Logano's gonna have to work to get around, and that would be the 43 of Eric Jones. Larson Elliott side by side. Logano down low underneath Jones in the 43. Jones on pressured tires, gonna stay in front of Logano on turn 4. I might have to bump that air pressure right back up again. Down to 6 laps to go in the stage.
Good job.
Larson on the outside, gonna get by. Harvick up in the wall again.
Clear, clear.
And Elliott to third. Harvick fading. I'm just gonna move everything back to the way it was at the start of the race. Larson Elliott side by side in turns 1 and 2. Harvick should be able to hold on to 4th. Wasn't trying to block Brad. I'm trying to get the air pressure back to where it should be going into the end of the stage. The car's so floaty on the straightaways, it doesn't
Clear,
help.
clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Harvick doesn't care if these lap cars get around him. I think there's only going to be just these 4 cars on the lead lap. Harvick had to lift. He was getting tight. Kept it off the 77 of Balicki. He didn't want to risk turning himself there. Improvement from stage 1 to stage 2. Harvick was 10th at the end of stage 1. He'll be 4th at the end of stage 2. He was hanging on there for a little bit in the battle for the lead, but the car's still a little too tight. Gonna knock that air pressure back down, back up, I should say, where it was at the start of the race, as well as the wedge. And then he'll go from there. Denny Hamlin back to 38th.
One left. Clear all around.
Harvick definitely going to take some tires during the stage break. I'd have to imagine everybody else is going to stay out. Likely give Harvick an advantage.
Car right. Clear, clear,
Coming to the
clear.
final lap this time by. Jeez. Harvick pinched AJ. AJ already had the run. He was down low, and Harvick squeezed him.
Got one left.
Cole Custer might be on the lead
All
lap
clear.
still, back in 5th. 3 seconds behind Harvick, though, so he's not going to catch him with just a lap to go this time. Bye! As Harvick has a major mistake as he almost ran down into Denny Hamlin in the middle of the corner now. Custer's the next car behind him. He's going to have a run. I think he's still a little too far back. He pulls a second in that corner alone. Final lap, though, of Stage 2 at the Auto Club Speedway on the NASCAR 22 season update. Kevin Harvick. Oh, Blaney in 6th, but he's a lap down. He just passed Custer. Harvick sees him closing in. Custer in the draft behind him, also trying to close on Harvick. He might have more of a shot than what I thought originally. Harvick going to try to hang on to 4th, though, for the end of the stage. Point on the line between himself and Cole Custer. Off the exit of turn 4. Harvick keeps it off the wall. Blaney right behind him. It didn't even let me get to the line, but Harvick was going to beat out the 12 as well anyway as the 41. Joey Logano is going to win Stage 2 tonight at the Auto Club Speedway. And I believe that's his first playoff point of the season. It's his first stage win. Chase Elliott ends up second. Kyle Larson third. Kevin Harvick ends up in fourth. 8 stage points total for Harvick today. Cole Custer will end up fifth. Ryan Blaney, first car lap down in sixth. Christopher Bell 7th, Martin Truex Jr. 8th, Kyle Busch 9th, and Chris Buescher will round out the top 10, all receiving stage points in Stage 2. Cody Ware is in 12th at Auto Club at the end of Stage 2. Yeah, as Jacob Gibbons said, AI intelligence still off.
Pits are closed. We cannot pass under yellow.
We're going to pit here. And not going to repair any damage, of course. I believe the air pressure is where it needs to be. Probably not going to be seeing anybody else pit during the second stage either. Which means on to Stage 3 we go. Why is my front end more bashed in than what it was before? Oh well. On to the final stage.
Good run and some stage points to boot.
Harvick can restart in 5th. Top 4 in front of him. All on older tires still. Green flag is in the air at Auto Club. The final stage is underway.
3 wide, 2 outside.
A lot of stacking up going on.
3 wide, you got 2 up top. 3 wide.
2 and 3 wide, middle of the corner. Little contact between LaJoie and Harvick. Harvick was squeezed down on the apron there.
2 on the outside. You're 3. Got 1 right. Got 1 right. All clear. Stay left.
Might end up seeing a wreck in front of him. He's going to have to prepare to miss it. 4 wide in the middle of the corner.
3 wide.
Harvick down on the apron. By the time he gets there, they're down to 3 wide. 1 car up high. Almost wrecked. 1 car trying to pit off turn 4. That's what stacked everybody up. Harvick going to get by. Down on the bottom. $70 laps in the final stage tonight at Auto Club. Well, the 5 cars on the lead lap is mainly due to little scoring issues and randomized pitting from the AI. Pretty much in all of these, actually.
All clear. All clear.
Harvick down low, clipped the apron, got a little loose, caught the car though. Yeah, the apron is not somewhere you want to be in 1 and 2. Especially with all 4 tires as Harvick was there. He did a great job keeping it off the 2 of Cindric after Cindric crowded him. Harvick had such a big run late into the corner. Harvick launches by both Cindric and Truex, so that time through turns 3 and 4. Has to lift. That was a big time slide job by Kevin Harvick. But he's going to complete the pass on both drivers. Truex coming back though on the outside of the racetrack. Harvick will give him the top. We can have the bottom again into turns 1 and 2. It might be a 2-stop stage for everybody considering the tire wear at Fontana. The cautions have been interesting to say the least in how the strategy is played out. So you also have to decide exactly when do you want to pit, because we have seen quite a few yellows. It's like in the Daytona 500. Quite as many, but we could end up seeing as many by the end of the race. Especially with this being the longer of the 3 stages. Only by 5 laps, but it's still longer.
Got 1 right. Alright, hold your line. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, stay left, stay left. Still there. All clear.
This is definitely going to be a race of tire management with the top 5 for sure, Mark. Santiago Kid, thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure where Bowman's at in this race.
Clear, clear, clear.
I feel like I've barely seen him.
All clear.
Like rain.
Car right. Still next to you. Clear, clear.
Slingshotting down towards the bottom. Kevin Harvick will just let his car go up towards the outside. Didn't stay in the gas though. Like Kyle Busch is able to have a little bit more momentum on the front stretch. Busch getting blocked though back and forth by Cole Custer. Custer's on the lead lap. So that'll be a pass for position once Harvick gets around, but Custer's still busy blocking Busch on the inside. Harvick's going to drive by both of them on the top. And he'll have a run down the back straightaway now after that move. And pulls down to the inside of the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. And he'll just stay there. Bowman's in 19th. I see him.
One right. All clear.
The car breaking away from the rest of the field as it is a madhouse behind them. Maybe to the outside of the 48. Will bounce into the wall. The car swing a bit too wide off turn 4. It wasn't that it got tight. It was just, that was definitely driver error there. Trying to regain some of that ground back in turns 1 and 2. Get to the outside of the 15 car. Here's Smithley potentially. Nope. Scrub into the wall. Kept him keeping that momentum up to get outside. Smithley. Harvick with a big run into 3 and 4. Just got down to the bottom. All 4 tires on the apron as he's 3 wide.
We didn't come here for second. Keep charging.
Chase Elliott is the race leader. Kevin Harvick up to P2 right in front of Joey Logano in the 22 car as well. He passed Larson, who was in 4th. We'll block on Larson into turns 1 and 2. Harvick with a run on Blaney. Didn't quite get to his outside. Harvick on pressure tires right now. 11 lap pressure tires, and he is going to slingshot by Chase Elliott. And now for the 4th time today, it'll be Kevin Harvick in the lead at Fontana. You just wonder, despite all the craziness that's ensued, can you make it maybe more of a soothing finish to the race and close out the deal? We've seen the Forza do many times throughout his career.
1 left. All clear. Got 1 left. Still there. Still there. Clear, clear, clear. Got 1 right.
Briscoe moved down just a little bit.
Clear all around.
Harvick still got McDowell underneath him. Harvick really got pitched off that time. He was kind of
Keep it high.
on the brakes a little bit.
Clear, clear.
In the corner, Michael McDowell still hasn't cleared him down low.
Stay right.
Harvick having pressure tires, now really pulling away because of how much this lap traffic is kind of holding him up still.
Hold your line.
Going to get into that clean air here eventually. We'll clear McDowell through 1 and 2 in that middle to upper lane. Carried that momentum on the 14 car Briscoe off the exit of turn 2, and it'll look low on the back straightaway. Side traps Briscoe, pulls a little bit lower, and he should be able to get around him in 3 and 4, you would have to think. This race didn't actually finish in the nighttime. I don't think we're going to see a nighttime transition. When I was there in person, I think the race started at like 12:30 local time, so I don't think we're going to see nighttime skies. But the shade is definitely increasing on the front stretch throughout the course of this race. Got some overcast skies as it is, but still. Overcast skies, 74 degrees was the climate for this race this evening. Now that Harvick's in the lead, I think he's just going to have to manage tires. Everybody's going to have to pit twice at some point in this second stage. Even Harvick, who pitted during the stage break. Just because of how bad the tire wear is at Fontana. Who can manage the tires the best would be the question. Madhouse straight out of Anthrax, yep. That's one of my favorite songs. I probably prefer Indians. Madhouse is a close second. I guess be enjoying the clean air right now. I doubt we've seen the last caution today, though. Probably going to have some battles on some restarts yet. We haven't even seen a full set of green flag pit stops yet today either, cycling through. The same thing with Daytona. We keep seeing cautions right in the middle of them. That's why it's so dangerous to short pit. Harvick was lucky he was barely on the lead lap when he had pitted earlier today. And the caution came out. I don't know that he could get that lucky twice. As long as he finishes on the lead lap, though, he's likely going to have a top 5 finish. Manage tires, make it one stop. I don't think I can. With this stage being, it was going to be pushing it, but with the stage being 5 laps longer, I don't think it's going to be possible. Especially if a caution comes out, I'm going to pit every time. Unless maybe late in the race, I might consider staying out. But right now, if the caution would come out any second, I'm pitting. Which would definitely guarantee the fact that it would be a 2-stopper. Ryan Blaney's up to second, by the way. I guess he's still on the lead lap. He might have gotten his lap back right before the end of the last stage. It might be a little more than 5 cars on the lead lap. Whatever the case, though, Kevin Harvick is still the leader. This setup is definitely the fastest, which was the way we started the race off. Went the wrong way with adjustments, which probably cost me a chance to win Stage 2. We ended up 4th. It's going to be hard to win Stage 1 the way things went. That was probably the most craziness we've seen. Not for the racing reasons, though. We blame game glitchiness. About 3.5 seconds still back of Kevin Harvick, though. He's got nothing for Harvick right now. Tires are starting to even out. Harvick only had about 11 laps fresher tires, but he's already thrown out to that lead, though. It's what he wanted. Get there first and then manage. Right rear is burning off, as you see on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen with the telemetry. Both the right sides, really. The right front keeps up with the right rear. It's going to allow for Harvick's car to not get as loose. To be more ideal. I'm alright with trying to drive a loose car, not in this game. Butler's quickly catching up though with the right rear. They'll probably still make it looser. Which team do I have to win the World Series? I haven't really kept up with a lot of baseball this season, outside of the Tigers at least, so I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't think the Yankees are as good as what I feel like they would be. at face value, just like looking at their statistics. Judge is obviously the difference maker there, but I feel like the rest of that lineup hasn't been playing that well. And Chase Elliott is up there in the battle, right behind Ryan Blaney for second as he's moved up to P3. 50 laps to go. Kevin Harvick leads at the Autothorpe Speedway. Good your tire management there for Harvick. Out of the throttle quite a bit. Turns 1 and 2. I mean, if he can make it to 38 laps to go, or even actually 35 laps would be ideal. If he can get to 35 laps to go, that would be splitting this in half. It's going to be really close tires. And obviously, 22 laps, the car is loosening up. It's drivable in clean air. And Chase Elliott is actually starting to close that gap, which I didn't even realize. He's managing his tires maybe better than anybody else right now. And Chase Elliott's going to be going for the lead in turns 3 and 4. He has ran down Kevin Harvick. Talk about managing your tires. Larson up to third, getting around Ryan Blaney. Chase Elliott is just taking the lead out of seemingly nowhere. Harvick managing the tires, though. You would have to think better than Elliott. Elliott pushing really hard right now, although Elliott might have saved a lot more at the beginning of the run than Harvick did. Harvick got to the lead, he got out in front, and then he started to save. And here comes Kyle Larson. Oh, these guys are lapped down. I am so confused right now. Elliott's in second, he's a lap down. Larson's in third. I think he's a lap down. So that tells me Elliott and Larson are on fresher tires. That's why they're running down Harvick. So they already pit. I didn't even realize that. Harvick's still out on the racetrack. Which is it? I don't know. This strategy's all over the place. I'm so confused. They had to have pit, and I didn't even realize it. They meaning Larson and Elliott at least. And maybe Logano, because Logano's just passed Blaney and closing in quickly on Harvick as well. Fourth. Yeah, so those guys are on fresher tires. They've already pitted once. Remember, it's 2 stops for them no matter what. Harvick might be able to stretch it into 1 if he saves his tires enough, but his 2 stops going to be quicker than 1 anyway, because look at the pace that Elliott and Larson are running right now. Elliott's already 6 seconds ahead of Harvick. He passed him just 3 laps ago. He's about 2 seconds a lap faster. Harvick's only got to go about 10 more laps, though, on these tires before he pits. Then he'll be on fresher tires by about a dozen laps until they make their second and final stop of the stage. Ninja Warrior, thanks for tuning in. Joey Logano closing in quickly behind Kevin Harvick. Harvick is well aware that Joey Logano's got to run, and he's down on the inside lane.
Clear, clear.
Definite strategy race going on right now. Blaney's closed that gap to 3 seconds behind Harvick. Harvick trying to go about 10 more laps yet. Two stops definitely quicker. I'm thinking that too. Man, Harvick's so loose. He was off the throttle so much in turns 1 and 2. I think Blaney's even starting to just close in, and he's not even on fresher tires. But Harvick's still got a lap on him because he started the stage a lap down. Cole Custer would be the only other car that would have pitted along with Logano and Larson that still hasn't gotten his lap back yet on Harvick. We could make it a modified 2-stop race too. I don't know. We'll see. I think we might just be in it for the long haul. We still might see a caution, too. I'd be shocked if the final stage goes caution-free, considering the cautions we've already seen in today's race. What, we've seen 8 cautions total? 6 for incident and then the 2 stage breaks, so 8 cautions total. Blaney's a little less than 2.5 seconds back.
Pit road in a few laps. Time you ready. Pit road in a few laps.
Yeah, he is a lap down, though, so Harvick's not too worried about Blaney. He's just more worried about the pace that Logano, Larson, and Elliott are running. Harvick has 7 more laps to go. Trying to stretch this stage on one's top. It's going to be fun to see how this is going to play out, though, but it's kind of out of Harvick's control, outside of the fact he just has to run his own race, really. I just hope that this is the right strategy to win it. I mean, you go this far into it, you're committed. If you're Kevin Harvick. Committed that this is going to be one stop. Unless the caution dictates otherwise. Which I'm still not ruling out. Still have a little over half the stage to go yet. 41 laps left at the line for Kevin Harvick. It's going to be a shame to leave this many laps in the final stage and potentially not win, but that's the strategy risk you take if you're Harvick. Wasn't fully committed to the strategy until really about 5 to 10 laps ago, but got to be committed now. Really starting to close in that 12 car. Harvick well out of the gas in the middle of 3 and 4. 30 laps complete at the line. 5 more laps Harvick has to go. Now, he is still in the lead. And because it's one stop for everybody, as long as Harvick has the lead when he pits, he's going to gain some of that time back still as well. He's just got to hope the gap is bigger than what it was over Elliott that last time. Whether or not Elliott will catch him again. It's also interesting to see how hard you push if you're Harvick at the beginning of that next run. Because you're going to have fresher tires, and the urge to push is going to be there. So you have to make up some time, but if you push too hard, then you're not going to have much defense at the end. There are a lot of cars on pit road again.
We'll be pitting in about 5 laps.
Archer Jr. in the 19 car up on the outside. Dawson Cindric's there with him. Harvick down low on the bottom, just kind of letting those guys race around him up high.
Stay left.
Harvick using a little more brakes through turns 1 and 2 that time.
Clear.
Sliding up, lifts towards the exit of the corner. Cole Custer, his teammate, right behind him in the 41. He's on the same strategy that Logano, Larson, and Elliott are on.
Stay right.
Harvick lifted quite a bit off turn 4. Thinking that Cole Custer was going to get into the left rear corner panel, but he never quite did. Custer to the outside of Harvick. Blows by him through 1 and 2. Still go by number of cautions before the stage area. Yeah, I kind of do for the most part, too. Guess we technically have to factor in. There are cautions one way or another. It's no different than like the competition cautions here.
car right.
Oh, wow. Blaney on the outside. He just cleared Kevin Harvick. Harvick was going up the track. Walking quite a bit up the track with the rear tires. And a major lack of grip. Harvick will stay out this time by. And then he'll pit at lap 35. He still has the lead on these extremely old tires. His pace has fallen way off. A short way around on the inside in the tri-oval.
Okay, we have to pit next time out.
So Harvick is going to pit this time. He's going to have the lead when he pits. It's a one-stopper still for everybody.
All clear. All clear. Clear all around.
And he's splitting this final stage in half, 35 and 35. Everybody else on a two-stop strategy. No adjustments are going to be made on the 4-car. When he makes this green flag stop this time by, has to make sure he doesn't speed. Pit road speed limit is 45 miles an hour. Harvick on his way in. And on his way down towards the commitment line. And he is at pit road speed right now. 4-tire stop. He's got the #1 pit box after qualifying on the pole today. He made it through the run. Actually made it a full run.
Good job.
That is surprising. Not only without a caution, but also
We've got the speed.
without wrecking.
Pit.
At Fontana, this is a tough track. This is probably one of the tougher drivability racetracks out there. This Darlington's probably a little worse, I would have to imagine, especially in this game. But this is tough. Harvick into the box. 4 tires and fuel. It's going to have to be a quick one for the 14. I did see the Mariners made the playoffs for the first time in 21 years. Harvick getting up to speed. Down on the apron of the racetrack, just trying to stay out of the way of everybody right now. So now he's in 5th, and now Kevin Harvick is 1 lap down. But he's got fresher tires than everybody else in the field. So he's going to start to make some of this time back up again. How much of it will he make up? He is still ahead of Logano. It is a one-stop race for everybody but Kevin Harvick. 34 more laps for Harvick to try to put as much time as he can in front of Elliott and Larson whenever they decide to pit. And lap car moved up right in front of Harvick, cost him some time. It was Kaz Gralla in the 50.
Stay left.
Pulling down quickly after he clears Gralla on the back straightaway to get underneath of Justin Haley. Past that 31 car as well. Here's Larson. And Chase Elliott's gapped Larson quite a bit as well. Well, he's nowhere to be found yet. Harvick would like to get back in the lead lap in case we get a caution. Larson slides up in front of him. Harvick had that outside lane plus fresher tires, so he's got to run on the back straightaway. Looking low into turns 3 and 4 as they're trying to make the pass on Larson, and he will. Elliott's about another 3 seconds ahead. Who will manage tires better to win this race? Harvick on the one-stop strategy, 2 stops for the rest of the field. This might actually be a fun finish on this game. I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too, down in the chat. And even if you're not in the chat and you're watching, wherever you may be, it's going to get exciting. Playoff spot on the line, obviously, with a win. Bubba Wallace is in 25th, so we will not have a repeat winner. Wallace won the Daytona 500 last night. Elliott getting held up by the lap cars of Chris Buescher and Corey LaJoie in front of him. Harvick closing in quickly on the back of the 9. Gonna look to the outside to get back on the lead lap. Off the exit of turn 2. Harvick trying to get by him. Elliott was trying to side draft just a slight bit. So Harvick is back on the lead lap in 5th place if caution comes out. But as of right now, just trying to put as much time on the leaders as possible before they pit once again. 30 laps to go in this race. Tremendous how much that pace fell on Harvick when he got to his final 3 to 4 laps of the last run. Blocking going on in traffic. Not even sure how many of those drivers are battling for position. Oh man, they were 4 wide maybe there for a brief moment. We've got some cars pitting up off turn 4 ahead. They're stacking up but no wreck. Harvick was far enough back he didn't have to check up himself and slow up. Big draft off of the 77 of the Licky. The tri-oval still as well, and into 1 and 2 goes Kevin Harvick. Air back on the nose of his race car again. He's had a lot of clean air this run though, so he is thankful for that. Let me know down in the chat what strategy you think is going to work the best. 3 stops or 4. Harvick had the lift off turn 4. He was pushing a little too hard that time in the middle of the corner. 28 laps to go right now. I feel like the longer they stay out, obviously that's less laps they'll have to catch Harvick, and Harvick will have an even bigger gap as well. The longer they stay out, where if they pitted a lot shorter, I mean, at this point, Harvick's got 9 laps on his tires at the line this time by. Pitted at lap 35. I didn't even really know exactly what lap Elliott, Larson, Logano, and Custer pit. Custer only about 3 seconds ahead of Harvick yet. That will be a position. That's for 4th once Harvick gets there. Custer's really not in the equation. It's mainly Elliott, but even Larson, Logano might have far chances to win this too yet. There's Cole Custer right in front of Kevin Harvick. So 1 car peeled to pit road. Looked like it might have been Chris Buescher in the 17. Harvick blows by Custer in the tri-oval for 4th. He was quite a ways behind the top three from what we were looking at earlier. I guess we will know when Elliott, Larson, Logano all pit. I think the reason why is because, well, obviously the reason why is because we'll be able to tell in the leaderboard once Harvick gets to the lead exactly when the top three will pit. He was pushing really hard there through 1 and 2. Kept it off the wall, but he was pretty close to it off the exit of the corner. Not running the wall all the way through the corner. Just trying to let that car feed out from the bottom as much as possible. Have to be aware of potentially any cars pitting in front of him as well. He's got to run on the outside of Austin Dillon in the 3.
Watch the light.
Caution is out. Oh my goodness. Caution is out on the speedway with just over, what, we had 21 laps to go when the caution waved. Harvick has to pit now. It's a 3-stop stage. A 2-stop for him as well as everybody else. But he can't stay out assuming that the other lead lap cars pit. So it's going to be a pit stop for Kevin Harvick in the 4. And caution has waved for the first time in the final stage with just 21 laps to go. And now for the nighttime total in today's race, that caution flag is out. It will just be the final restart coming up. Yep, Elliott just pit. So I think everybody that was on the strategy of Elliott, Larson, Logano pitted. Green flag back in the air. Harvick's going to be on the inside. He's got Larson and Elliott not that far in front of him. Not sure exactly where Logano is, but the green flag, again, back in the air. And we're down to just 15 laps to go in the Wise Power 400 at the Auto Club Speedway.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
A lot of cars still on older tires out in front of these leaders.
Right there. You can see him. Go get him. 3 wide.
Harvick on the inside of Kyle Larson and Elliott. This guy's battling for second right now. Not sure who exactly the leader is. It's either Logano or Custer. They're stuck in traffic. Harvick going way down to the inside. Passes a bunch of cars. Nobody pits off turn 4 in front of him this time. Charge is on for the 4 of Harvick. 14 laps to go. Still in second. Into turns 1 and 2, little contact with the back of Corey LaJoie. That's going to hold Harvick up in the middle of 1 and 2. Now, you're not managing tires at this point. You're pushing hard to the very end for 15 laps then.
Clear.
Nice knowing you don't have to go a full run. Throw tire management out the window.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
Oh, it's chopping down the middle of the corner. Harvick saw that the last second. Harvick going to slide up into the outside lane, try to get into the draft of most of where the cars are running on the straightaways. Hops down a little lower, though, so he can get to the bottom into the corner.
Clear.
It's the white line. Didn't really go below it, though, that time. Sneaks under Stenhouse. 3 wide now underneath Eric Almirola, AJ Allmendinger. I thought Almirola was out, but I guess not. 10:37.
Clear.
Still only going to get 1 point, it looks like, for his place finish, but overall, Harvick down low, contact with Ty Dillon.
Outside, you're 3.
3 wide with that contact with Ty Dillon, and J.J. Haley up on the outside didn't have any contact in that. There's 12 laps to go. Who is leading?
Car right.
You'd have to assume that they might have fresher tires, because if it is the car that's way out ahead of the rest of this pack, you wonder how is there any way Kevin Harvick is going to have a shot to catch up to those guys. To the outside of Bowman. Ryan Blaney in 5th up ahead. Be the first car lap down. Side by side with William Byron in the 24, who's in 9th. Busch in 6th, trying to challenge Blaney for a position likely. Harvick up on the outside. Blows by Kyle Busch. Trying to at least. Hasn't cleared him yet off turn 2. Got that drafting help in front of him though on the back straightaway. To the bottom, 3 wide under Byron and Blaney. Harvick clears them both. Logano is the leader, and he's quite a ways out ahead of Kevin Harvick right now, with 10 laps to go at the line. Austin Haley's the next car. He is in last, still on the track. It is a big gap, though, to wherever that 22 car is. And he's a long ways ahead of Kevin Harvick. Hey, Shad, thanks for tuning in tonight. Race is going by better than Daytona, I'll say that. Not perfect by any means. It's been ugly, but we've fought it out. We're in 2nd right now, and down to 9 laps to go. But Joey Logano pretty far out ahead. Pushing a little too hard that time. He lifted more in turns 3 and 4 than what he would have liked. Probably going to need another caution to get back into this race. Oh, quite a ways ahead of Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, though, behind him. He's pretty much secured into a 2nd place finish if it stays green to the end. Improved every stage, though. 10th at the end of stage 1, 4th at the end of stage 2. Could be a solid points day. Obviously, every driver wants that security for the playoffs, though.
1 left.
Harvick to the outside of Justin Haley in the 31.
All right, hold your line.
7 laps to go.
1 left. Clear, clear, clear. Got 1 left. 1 down low. Clear all around. 1 left.
Harvick going to clear Haley up off turn 2, it looks. Up into the wall as well. Luckily, he did not blow a tire. That's the last thing Harvick needs, is to get into the wall and blow a tire. Goodness for the composite bodies, but we have seen a blown tire once today. I think Logano restarted ahead of the rest of the field, where Harvick, Larson, and Elliott had to restart towards the tail end. I noticed Harvick was in 3rd when the caution came out, so that tells me Logano was probably on pit road when the caution waved, which means he was able to stay out of the pit, so that's why he had that track position on the restart that Harvick, Elliott, and Larson didn't have. But unfortunately, you know, if this game was accurate enough, obviously, because we were on the lead lap, we would have restarted ahead of the lap cars. We wouldn't have been behind them all. Logano got the luck of the draw. He pitted at the right time. Caution blew at the right time, and Might lock Joey Logano into a win. Boss Brody, thanks for tuning in tonight.
Watch the lights.
Caution is out
Yellow,
with
yellow.
5 laps to go. And we are going to overtime. My goodness. It is not over yet. And Harvick's staying out of the pits.
All right, that's the pass to the lead.
Logano's going to be on the outside on the restart. The green flag is back in the air, and we have overtime at Auto Club.
Clear, clear. Stay left. We didn't come here for seconds. Keep charging.
Larson Elliott back in the mix as well. Logano clear through turns 1 and 2 right now, but Harvick trying to get a run at him. Logano leads back straight away. They'll be coming to the white flag this time by. Larson to the inside of Elliott. Harvick is going to pull all the way down to the bottom. A slide job on Joey Logano. Harvick's going to be clear, but he's got to lift off turn 4 to keep it off the wall. And Logano's going to get back down low with a crossover, and he's back in the lead again. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go.
Stay right.
Larson is occupying the bottom now. Harvick really went for it.
Got 1 left. Still inside. Clear all around.
Harvick trying to stay on the outside. Oh man, lost a couple spots through 1 and 2. Larson and Elliott closing on Logano on the back straightaway. Larson may have a shot at Logano in the final corner. Kevin Harvick's going to send it through turns 1 and 2. Down on the inside of the racetrack. He pulls into the 22. He's going to spin. Out into the outside wall goes Harvick. They'll be coming to the checkered flag. Caution is out. The race is over, and Joey Logano has won at Auto Club. I don't know how I ended up second, but I did. Was Elliott and Lart? I don't know if, I gotta look back at that again. I tried. I don't know why I'm in second, though. Elliott and Larson might not have been on the lead lap that final restart. Let me look at that. They should have been, but I don't think they were. I pulled it. I went in way too hot. It was right that I made contact. I'm surprised Logano kept control of his car as well as he did, but I knew I went in way too hot. I wasn't going to stick that. I was just hoping I'd clear him and try to check up in front of him. And I mean, it was the same move I tried the lap before, but I was a little further back that time. Yeah, Larson and Elliott were a lap down. I didn't even realize that when they passed me. So second place finish for Harvick. Caution came out on the final lap, which would give us 11 cautions on the race today, tying what we had in the Daytona 500 last night. Hey, in hindsight, I still finished second trying to make that move. I'm not upset with it. Joey Logano ends up finishing with the win, and he will be locked into the playoffs now. And Kevin Harvick is going to end up second, even with wrecking there on the final lap, because there was literally nobody else on the lead lap. So at that point, you might as well try to junk it. It's checkers and records. I actually thought Larson and Elliott were for position, so I thought I was going to end up fourth, but Harvick going to end up P2. Larson, Elliott, they should have been in contention there that final corner. They were not, unfortunately. They had a big run on Logano even before Harvick did. But nevertheless, Logano with the win. Again, Larson third, Elliott fourth, Ryan Blaney, solid day. He was top 5 all day, finished 5th. Kyle Busch 6th. Austin Cindric, the rookie, started 2nd, finished 7th. William Byron 8th. Cole Custer fell back to 9th on that final restart. Christopher Bell will round out the top 10 today. The stage winners of Martin Truex Jr. Ended up finishing 11th. The other stage winner in the race of Joey Logano won the race. So that is going to be that. And nobody DNF'd today. There were 3 DNFs in the 500 last night, but no DNFs today. 8 laps down was Justin Haley there at the tail end of the field, as you saw. Hamlin did not have a great day, finished 34th. Really the only big name that was towards the back. I guess Almirola 36 technically there too, but unlike the current playoff drivers, he was well further back than anybody else. And then Daytona 500 winner Bubba Wallace finished 24th. All right. Hey, a heck of a finish nevertheless. I didn't think we were going to have a shot, but the caution came out with 5 laps to go, forcing overtime. We had a shot at Logano, went for it, didn't pan out. Joey Logano hangs on with the win anyway. Here, Dale Jr. screaming slide job. Yeah, slide job. I was just hoping I was hoping not to really make contact with him. I just drove it in so deep that I was going up the track regardless. And whether it was the wall or him that I was going to hit first, I was probably going to lose control. And ended up hitting Logano first. And Logano didn't wreck. I mean, we ended up driver's side door first into the wall. Harvick's probably going to be out with a concussion the next few weeks. But you know what? We went for the win. And nevertheless, I'm all right with that. Second place finish. Pretty good race. I just accidentally turned my TV off. Hopefully you guys can still see everything on the screen. But yeah, pretty good race. Definitely better than Daytona. I had more fun, but there were still a lot of glitches that I'm just going to have to deal with. It's just this game in a nutshell. The scoring glitches, obviously. That's why we only had 2 cars finish on the lead lap to begin with. Larson Elliott should have been on the lead lap there at the very least at the finish. But honestly, I mean, we should have had more than 10 cars at the very least on the lead lap. With 11 cautions, there should be way more cars in the lead lap, but there wasn't. And that's just something we're going to have to deal with this game. We had to deal with NASCAR 21 Ignition, and now we have to deal with the 22 side of things. That hasn't been changed. So, unfortunately, from what it sounded like, it probably wasn't going to get changed or couldn't be changed without just a completely different game as a whole. But regardless of the fact, it just sucks that is the way you have to race. It also stinks that the strategy actually played out pretty well because of how much tire fall off there was at Auto Club. If we were going to go green that final stage, I wonder what would have won the race, 2 stops or 1. We were on a 1-stop strategy. The field was just pitting the second time with about 21 laps to go, so I was going to end up taking the lead again probably next time by, but the caution came out instead and ended up pitting anyway because I needed tires, or was going to need tires to have a battle there towards the end. Yeah, a really good race, so overall, at least a crazy good finish, needless to say. It was sloppy in bits and pieces, but that final stage really, the entire final stage was really good. Honestly, it made up for all the shenanigans that happened in Stage 1 and a little bit Stage 2, but Stage 1 was pretty ugly there for a while. But nevertheless, Joey Logano, congrats. He gets the win. He's in the playoffs. As long as we don't get more than 16 winners, which could happen with 2 for 2. We'll be racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time there. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. Dark Crypto, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. First super chat ever, man, and it goes to you, Keith. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I also had a donation earlier that I also shouted out, but JC1424 left $1 on the super chat as well, so greatly appreciated from any extra support we get from the channel, obviously, or I get from the channel. Appreciate it because it does mean a lot, and it goes a long way in helping support not only me but supporting the channel, growing the commentary side of things to bigger, better things, and can't wait for the end of the season. I mean, it sucks that the end of the season is coming, but I can't wait to see how the championship battle is going to play out. We'll have some fun during the offseason. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you everybody for watching. Las Vegas, NASCAR 22. Again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time, and we'll see if Harvick can go for redemption there. Maybe Logano goes back-to-back. We'll have to wait and find out. Have a good night, everybody.